It is believed that learning is what evolves the soul. Our soul always knows the truth. It is always trying to communicate with us as we discover and create our environments, since it is the core essence of our beings in this lifetime and the next. I felt this when I was in elementary school. I always felt like something always urged me to learn about myself through astrological signs. At that time, I didn't know what numerology was, and as I got older, I lost that inner feeling. It wasn't until I finally met my twin flame that I really started to learn so much about myself. It's actually finally lit the inner spark that lit the fire of my deepest inner discovery for myself, just by letting me talk to her and spend time with her. The universal law of free will gives us the choice of do or not do, and yet the universal law of karma contradicts this. With whatever energy we give out, we will eventually receive. It could take 5 minutes, a day, a month, a year, 10 years, or even another lifetime in order for us to finally receive back what we've been giving out to the universe. A lot of the choices I've made growing up definitely led me astray from my path of inner enlightenment. It all really hindered me from attaining the spiritual progress that I always dreamt of when I was young. The judgment of our life isn't based on our actions, though, like what most mainstream religions try and manipulate us to think. The universe does not always expect us to evolve so precisely. It just expects us to make progress, even if it's minuscule one time around and massive the next. The universe gives us an opportunity to evolve by learning about ourselves, self-enlightenment, using our inner readings to evolve in the world and using those readings to mold relationships. It is us ourselves who stop us from evolving, though, not temptation or sin. It is through sloth that we decide not to act accordingly and do nothing, which is the biggest offender against ourselves. It is our true self that is our authentic self. The only way to attain our authentic self, our true self, is through inner discovery and evolution. Who we are as a person, all our characteristics, good and bad, everything that represents what we are born with on the inside. This is our true spiritual, authentic self. You can find these characteristics and traits from knowing your name meanings, your tarot birth card, attitude number, karmic lesson numbers, soul colors, personality types, soul urge numbers, destiny numbers, Egyptian zodiac, Norse zodiac, Greek zodiac, Babylonian zodiac, Zenga zodiac, runic astrology, Aztec astrology, Mayan astrology, Tibetan astrology, Abrahamic astrology, Chinese zodiac, birth charts, family and childhood trauma, Hindu astrology, Native American totems, zodiac deacons, zodiac signs, Celtic tree astrology, Druid horoscope, Celtic zodiac, cosmic compatibility, spirit animals, north and south node signs, Kabbalah trees of life, cosmic destiny charts, life path, and joint life path numbers. In order to be your true, authentic spiritual self, you must not care what others think about you, and stand out from the rest of the crowd, and just be yourself without anyone or anything ever stopping you from doing it. According to the secret gospel of Mary Magdalene, all of matter and spirit are intermingled, and in the end of time it will all come back to us in its roots, and that sin really isn't real. It's just the flesh that is indulged against the true self, which clings to temporal material reality. This is infidelity against our true self, the true origin of sickness and death. One fuses the true self with the spiritual self, then one can escape death, and the divine kingdom is imminent to one's true spiritual self. One must turn within into their true spiritual self. There is no other way of salvation. Salvation only occurs when the mind grasps the true reality of the inner self. The Caprocratians were followers of Capocrates, a second-century Christian Gnostic and religious dualist, believed that in order to escape reincarnation, you have to just experience your life instead of following religion, and that there's no resurrection, but only reincarnation in the end. They also believed in libertinism, the belief that people are free to just experience life. And according to the secret gospel of Lucifer in Gnosticism, all that exists has purpose and value, though it may be hidden to all. All is number, and geometry is number in all things. For we must know thyself, for we are as gods, meaning that we are lesser gods, and that there's no death, for none that has ever lived can ever truly die. and no knowledge is forbidden. All that exists has purpose and value, though it may be hidden to all. All is number, and geometry is number in all things. The Gnostics' belief in hell is very contradictory to the religious belief of hell. They believe that the world is hell, the material universe is hell, and gnosis, secret knowledge, is the only way to escape hell, and that we are trapped in this prison, trying to escape incarnation after incarnation. Even the sacred texts of Hindu scriptures say the material universe is a prison, and the material worlds are its prison cells. And hell is a place of separation. Just think about how much separation is in the world from politics, religion, race, gender, sexuality. There's so many things in this material world that puts borders around us. And ignorance is like the seed of separation. And ignorance is focused on the external rather than the internal. So as long as we are focused on these external factors of contemporary society that separates us, we are blind from the internal, our inner selves, the true inner, spiritual, authentic us, which is the only way for us to truly unite with one another. The Gnostics believe that we are the gods and the devils. We create and we destroy. We choose to be good or evil, and yet our true purpose is to turn this hell into a heaven as our true spiritual selves. And the only way to do that is by looking within, not without, and learning about ourselves to the fullest extent, and expressing ourselves fully to the world around us, and teaching others how to be our true spiritual selves, and unite the entire planet as one. Just as how the Atlanteans were, with their sacred priests, who were working hard on awakening and uniting twin flame pairs, before they were stopped by a culture of religious and political extremism. Along with the Hellenists, Orphics, Egyptians, Native Americans, indigenous groups, Gnostics, witches, warlocks, pagans, spiritualists, psychics, clairvoyants, numerologists, astrologists, any other spiritualistic group that has ever held knowledge and practices that were purposely suppressed and deliberately persecuted for knowing and expressing the truth, which are the two biggest factors as to why every country is separated in this world.